Welcome. Welcome to me and my ass. This is Sven, and apparently Sven wants to give me a hand with this video, so he's just hanging out. Like I didn't ask him, he's just being him, so we're gonna talk. Today I want to talk to you about worming your horse, right? It's that time of year that we need to deworm our horses, and oftentimes this can be a great source of stress and anxiety for both the human and the horse. So I want to talk about kind of the how and the why that happens. Like, why does our horse get so upregulated about dewormer? And what can we do to change that behavior? Because it is not fun and it is not enjoyable to deworm to try to administer the deworming paste medication to your horse when it's like a big mess, right? It's a stressful experience. So let's talk about why that might happen. Now, I'm just talking about one situation. This may not be your horse's issue, but I think this is probably a very common issue or instance of why horses would be fearful or be concerned about being having the dewormer. So let's just start with when we go to catch our horse. Right, our horse is in the corral. We go in there. Our mindset, my mindset, kind of coming in is, hey, I'm coming in to deworm my horse. This is like a 5-second job. I'm just going to get in, get it done, and get out. Right? That's my energy. That's kind of what my intention is. I'm not walking in really going, oh, I'm going to hang out with my horse today, or we're going to get caught and go saddle up and go for a ride. I'm kind of like task oriented. There's the first issue, right, that comes up is that we might be coming into the context of the situation with our horse coming in with an agenda, coming in with a timetable, coming in with a sense of urgency. Our horses pick up and read all of that, right? That we're coming into the corral, we're coming in to catch them, and they can feel that upregulation. They can sense that about us. And so that might put just a teeny bit of caution in them. But so we walk into the corral and we work ourselves over to go get our horse caught, and we're thinking in our mind, okay, not today. You need to be easy to catch today. I've just got a 5-second job. I need to just do this thing, and I'm out of here. And sure enough, right, our horse shows up and is a little cautious and maybe is hard to catch. And so we're doing the dance. We're kind of trying to, get our horse pinned in the corner of the corral or the round pen or whatever. We're like, I was just wanting to hurry up and deworm, before I left for work or right after I got home. And we got an agenda. Our mind's on the next thing already. So we kind of dance around. We get the horse caught. And so now we got the lead rope on so that they can't get away because we know that they're going to kind of move or be sensitive to being having this dewormer administered. So then, right, we got them caught. We're going to grab our dewormer out, and we're in our mind. We're going, I just have a 5-second job. I just want to get this done and get out of here. We won't use Sven as an example. I think he'd be chill. Um, right, so we get our plastic tube and our syringe, our plunger thing here, and we're all ready to go, and we're trying to get this in the horse's mouth, and the horse is moving all around the place, and we're kind of poking and jabbing and all these little prickly feelings, and our horse, we're not giving the horse time to down regulate or to assimilate itself to that level of pressure. Probably because we're in our mind, we're like, I got a 5-second job and I'm out of here. So we kind of push and maybe we jab and this thing bounces around on the face because, the horse is like, no, no. And we're like, come on, I just need 5 seconds. I just need to line it up and do the thing, get the squish and get it in there, and I'm done. We're poking and jabbing around. Finally, we kind of line it up. We get it wedged in the mouth, and now our horse is like, head all over the place. We're bumping it around in the mouth, right? We're trying to line up the palm of our hand clear back here to reach this plunger. I mean, seriously, this is like, I got fairly big hands. This is hard to reach with one hand because I'm trying to hold the horse with the other one. And then I'm trying to line this up and get it in the horse's mouth, and then I drop it, and then I'm frustrated. Can you feel how the anxiety just builds? The triggers just build and build. And then we end up finally getting all of the stars in the planet to line up, and we're able to, get it in there. We've got it all done. We squish it in there, and now we're going to mug our horse around the face so that they don't spit it back out. Right? We're going to armbar them, or we're going to get them in a nose choke. We're going to hold their mouth shut. We're going to lift their head up. We're going to do all these things to try to keep that paste in there so they don't spit it back out on the ground. We get it all done. We're going to do the halter. We tell ourselves, see, told you it'd just be 5 seconds if you'd just let me do it. And then we walk out, go to the next horse. Imagine what your energy feels like on the 4th horse and the 5th horse and the 8th horse and the 10th horse, if you have that many, which some of us do. Right? It just builds and builds and builds, and we're coming in with all this anxiety. We create this whole experience of a very high anxiety, pressure, agendized experience for the horse. And the horse will create kind of a neurochemical experience of that, and it gets recorded. It kind of gets documented in the horse's psyche that this experience. So when the horse starts putting this together over a few warmings, they start to, right, they can be sight triggered because they come walking in with this, and the horse is like, no, not going to catch me today. I know all about that. That means pressure. That means uncomfortable. That means no release. And so they can become very kind of triggered off of the sight of this, or it might even be the touch, right? When this touches on the face, they might be like, oh, that's the thing. That's where all the pressure is. And they associate the touch. And then that creates some stress and anxiety. So we're going to go through, how do we undo it? That's the question. How do we undo all of that? I'm going to go get Cassidy, and she's going to be our demo horse. And so we'll use her. So Sven, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do have some dewormer for you, but Sven gets all the leftovers. You know, when you still have some left over, a little bit in the tube, Sven gets that. All right, let's go get Cassidy. You can. He's gonna move for us. One more step. Come here, Cassie. There we go. All right. Let's see. How do I want to start this with Cassidy? I need you to move over here. There you go. I'll go right over here. So, first thing I can kind of start, I can already tell she's like, what are we doing? Is my horse okay with my hands being on her muzzle and around her nose? I'm not even going to start with the dewormer because this could be part of the trigger. So is my horse able to downregulate, or is my horse able to feel calm with my hands on her face? So let's just start with that. All right, Cassidy. So I want to be able to put my hands up here, and then if I rub those down her face, so you see right there how she's just kind of moving away, just even my touch. So I'm going to go a little fast, and we'll just see. I'm going to kind of rub her face and stick my finger in, just see if she's in her mouth. Oh, tight. See how she's kind of moving around. Good girl. Now she's not moving around much. Come back over here. So I want to just get her comfortable with my hands on her muzzle. So I'm going to just touch little light rubs. Boy, I can feel how tight her muscles are right here around her muzzle. So I'm just going to have a few seconds of just touch, maybe a little light massage, just gentle rub, and then I want to get out and just let her lick and chew and be okay with that touch. So first, I want to get her comfortable with me being in that space, touching and being in there. So look all this tension that she's releasing here, just this licking and chewing, that if I would just keep pushing that, I'm going to keep all that tension in there. So I want to just work with her to get her comfortable with my hands on her face. And this is also going to see how she's moving her head away and trying to avoid. Well, let's get that out of there, because that's what's going to be happening with the medication as well, is her trying to move her head. So can I just get her to feel comfortable with my hands on her face? Then I want to get out, keep her attention here as much I can with me, and just let her lick and chew. Because if this isn't happening, right, if you can't even get your horse to stand still, well, right, this is why we would even have more problems with the dewormer. So, all right, licked and chewed. So I would want to do this a number of times to just see where she can be comfortable with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a used plunger, right, already. So I've already used this one, so I'm not worrying about accidentally bumping it and putting stuff out. I just want to get her feeling this plastic. Whew, just this feel on the side of her muzzle now, this plastic. I'm not trying to put it in her mouth. I just want to rub it on her face and let her feel it, and then get out and let her lick and chew again. So each time we just get this little down regulation. She gets a little bit calmer. She's going to feel a little bit better and better about what we're doing. Now, I've never done this process with Cassidy before. Every other time she's been wormed, she's got the typical process where I just can't, right, come in, hustle it, get it done, and get out. And she's not bad to do that way, but could we make it better? That's what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to rub her face with this plastic, and then I'm going to end up just putting the corner, the end of it right here in the corner of her mouth, and just touch. If she opens her mouth, great. If not, that's okay too. I just want to rub and let her feel that touch and get used to that. So I just don't want to, it's the trigger of the touch that I'm wanting to down regulate. So if every time I touch her, she triggers just a little bit, but we do enough trigger stacking, then that's where we will for sure have some problems. She will get chronically worse to administer any type of medication into orally. So getting her set up and getting her comfortable here with these touches. See, first my hand, right? Didn't even move. She's pretty good with that. Now can I get this plunger just into the corner of her mouth? Let's come around this way a little bit. Can I just get it to touch and maybe just go a little bit in her mouth, and if she opens her mouth, I'm going to get out. Right, I'm not going to, so I want her to open her mouth to relieve the pressure. Good, and we're licking and chewing. Head shake, all this down regulation, head down, soft eyes. She's just getting more relaxed as we administer the deworming medication versus getting upregulated and stressed as we're trying to do it. So we're just going to keep building these steps in until I get a good sequence, and then we'll just walk in here and give her the dewormer medication. So now I want to put the corner of the plunger just inside of her mouth, enough that her mouth, she can open her mouth, and I want her just to lick it with her tongue. I'm not pushing out any medication. It's not time for that yet. Come on over here, Sven. I just want to put it in the corner of her mouth and let her just play with it. Just let her be okay with it. Good, she's kind of done playing. I'm going to take it out, move back. She's licking and chewing. Sometimes your ass blocks the shot. Sven's a good boy. He's a fun dude to have around. He's just a goofball. He just like hangs out. He's kind of like a cat or a goat that they like get right in the energy, like right in the middle of everything. That's definitely Sven. Come here, Cass. All right, so notice each time I go back in, I'm starting at the very softest. Hands on the side, then the plunger touches the corner of the mouth, then the plunger goes in the mouth, let her play with it. I'm just going to keep reviewing these sequential steps, releasing triggers instead of trigger stacking. If we just push our way in there, we're going to trigger stack. That's going to get recorded in the neural network in her trigger system. That this trigger leads to 3 or 4 more, and she'll just upregulate. We want to downregulate. So here we go. I'm going to come in, make some contact. I want to have my hands gently on her muzzle. Not a problem. I now want to let the plastic touch her muzzle just on the outside. Not a problem. Now I want to put it just in the corner of her mouth. And just enough that it goes in her mouth and that she'll open her mouth and just kind of play with it. Kind of like a bit. So I'm going to just keep kind of threading. Oh, there we go. Now she gets to avoidance. I'm going to back up a couple of steps. Like right now she's not opening her mouth with this being in the corner of her mouth. So maybe we just hang out right here a minute. There we go. Get her to relax. There, she just opened her mouth. Good girl. I want her to open her mouth when she feels this touch the corner of her lips. I want her to just open her mouth for the release, not be tense and stay there with your lips kind of locked shut. Oh, girl, there you go. So we got hands touching. Now I wanted the plastic tube to kind of rub on her face. Then I want to line up and just get that tube right in the corner of her mouth. That time she opened her mouth up nice and quick, and I want to just get out. So I just want to build this sequence, these steps, without triggers in there. Hands on, plastic touches, then into the corner of the mouth. So this time when she opens her mouth, I just want to leave it in there. Oh, if I can, just hold it and let her play with it. So I just want her tongue to roll it around, act like it's just the bit in her mouth. And I want her to just kind of get bored with it. Like, I want her to be curious enough that she's like, okay, I'm done with that. Because she's getting a little bit of taste of the medicine, right? It's still, some's left in this tube. And it's not that your horse doesn't like the taste of the medication. I'm not saying that they do like the taste. I've tasted it, and it's not good. I mean, I don't love it. It doesn't taste like apples to me. But that's what the box says. Horses can't read, so they don't know. But so now, oh, see, she's done with it here. Other than I kind of bumped her. So it's, look, the plunger is clear in her mouth, right? It's all the way in there, and it's not bothering her, right? We have down-regulated her to this, that it's not a trigger for her to upregulate. So we want to get to this point and then start administering or dispensing the medication in her mouth. So I'm just going to move this around, right? Because it's going to move around in her mouth while I'm trying to mess around and get the plunger. So I want her to be okay with that. This is what that's going to feel like. I'm going to fumble around. This is going to come up. It's going to go down, but it's not hurting. Just let her play with it with her tongue. She's just mauling it around in there. Fantastic. Let's get out and be done with that one. Okay, so now, right, I've gone in and down regulated all of the touch triggers. So horses trigger off of sight, sound, and touch. So we've kind of already dealt with the sight, being around, walking up, the touch, this thing touching her. And so now it's time to administer some of this. So, right, you got your little setting here on the side that you get your horse's weight. You set the little plunger for the appropriate weight for your horse. And here at the ranch, we have a couple of different methods of measuring your horse's weight. You can jump on YouTube, and there's kind of a length, width, girth, some kind of measurement you can do, and do the math, and it'll tell you how much your horse weighs. I don't know how to do that, but you can Google it. It's on YouTube. I've seen it. So what we do here at the ranch, we have a sophisticated system of measuring that works really well for us. It's called a swag measurement. And it's pretty well known in the construction industry. A lot of the construction trades will use swag measuring. It's common, and so it's one that we've used here at the ranch, and it works well in this case. So if you don't know what a swag measurement is or how to kind of do it, I'll talk you through it just quickly. But a swag measurement, here's the acronym for it so it can help you remember. SWAG, sophisticated wild ass guess. That's what we're using today to get our weight of Cassidy. I'm just looking. I'm going to do a sophisticated read on her, and then a wild ass guess. That's my swag measurement. Sure, Sven. Come on in. Just so then I'm going to set my plunger dial here for my swag measurement of Cassidy's weight. And then so I'm going to have that all ready. Take my end cap off. Move around my ass. Thank you. No, you're good. Just stay there. You're already in the way. Okay. So now that I'm ready to go, this is such a pain in the butt, and I guess the people that make these think that everybody can kind of handle their horse with one hand, and their horse is super calm and never moves. And so, I mean, I got some big hands, but this is kind of hard to, get into the palm of my hand or to get my thumb on here and to navigate. Right? This is why our horses get really apprehensive about worming is, one, we're not very comfortable in how we feel. So I'm going to come in just like I did before. We're just going to do all the touch. We're going to work ourselves all the way in to where this is just hanging out in her mouth. So first I make some contact. I want to get my hands on the side of her face. I just want to hang out. Now I want to get the corner. I want to get this just right in the corner of her mouth. Nice little soft, easy touch, little massage, kind of up and down in circles until she opens her mouth. Oh, girl. Okay, there she opened her mouth. Now I just want to hold it here and just let her play with it if she wants. Right, and I can get it all in place in her mouth, because this is usually the part where we get all antsy, right? And we're like, okay, shoot it, man, go now. You got a clear shot, man. Launch that crap in there. Get it done before she moves her head. Well, we're going to slow that all way down. All right, so I've got this in her mouth, and now I'm just going to grab my plunger end and just gently give just a little squirt, not much. And I just want to move this around in her mouth and just let her work her tongue, and she'll get this all over in her mouth and swallow it down. So while she's playing with it, I just keep squirting in a little bit more. I'm not shooting the whole thing, right? Just a little bit. I'm letting her just work it around. It spins right in the way of our camera. Right, just let her. Come here, spin. Go around that way. There we go. Just let her sit and mouth this, because we've already down-regulated her to this touch and this feel, both outside her mouth and in. I'm only about halfway through the dosage. All right, let's give a little bit more. Go another quarter. And then I'm just going to move this around, let her just lip it around. She's just gooing all that around in her mouth, swallowing it down. Let's go a little bit more. I got about a quarter to go. Move it around. All right, let's go with the last bit. I think I caught one of her vibrissae there in my hand. There we go. I'll just put the rest of it, and I'm just going to leave the tube in here and just massage it around. Just let her play with it until all of this is just, all the medication is just absorbed around in her mouth. Fantastic. We're all done. Can I just end with a nice little face massage here? She puts her head down. Good girl. Now I'll just get out, let her lick and chew, let everything be okay. That was fabulous. Now, yes, that took more time than 5 seconds. But as I keep working it this way, and then a good habit or a good tool I could put into place is leave a few of these cartridges, in my tack room or out by my halter and lead rope, and maybe every other month or once a month I go out and catch my horse, and I go through this whole process. As soon as I get her caught, walk up with the thing in my hand. But if you're hiding this, you're trying to hide this so your horse can't see it, your horse is already triggered. You're already too late. You've already gone too fast to try to undo it. Now, you might need to hide it to go sneak it to get it done, but just know you're adding to the problem, not taking away from, right? Every time you just sneak in and kind of hurry and get it done, you're adding to. It's chronically going to get worse over time, most likely. So once a month, if I go and catch my horse and just grab this tube out of my tack shed and come out here and, one, get my hands on her face, make that okay. Plastic touches her muzzle, that's okay. Right in the corner of the mouth, that's okay. Put the whole cylinder in her mouth, that's okay. Oh, it was. Let's get that back. There we go. And just hold it in there. Let her play with it. Good girl. And let this just be calm, down-regulated experience rather than a stressed, up-regulated experience. It's not that secret, Sven. It's okay to share with other people how to make this easy. I know that you think it's kind of funny to watch people struggle worming their horses, but there's an easier way. I'm trying to share that. And you just keep getting right in the way. Okay? So that's my my whatever for today. That's deworming horses. I got 6 more to go. And look how calm I feel. Look how calm my horse is. right? Take this times 6. I'll probably still be calm on the 6th one. But if I do it the other way, push in here, get us both stressed and upregulated. She's throwing her head around. Maybe she runs into me. Maybe she bumps me. I do that times 6. Yeah, time I walk in the house, I've been trigger stacked. I'm ready to have a blow up. And then something's going to happen in the house, and I'm going to go like, ah, right? Down regulate ourselves, down regulate our horse. This is all calm, nice and good. We're done.